Hello everyone, welcome to TTVNEWS with some latest events in Tay Ninh Province, and now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of March 2nd in Trang Bang town, Colonel Binh Phuoc, Deputy Commander of the Provincial Border Guard, attended the People's Border Guard Day.
In 2021, the Town Party Committee, the Town People's Committee, the Border Steering Committee, and the 389 Steering Committee of the Town promptly has specific solutions to solving the problems that occur, maintaining good relations to solidarity, friendship, and cooperation with the Cambodian government, armed forces, and the people in performing tasks of the border area, especially the border management and protection, and the effective prevention of the COVID-19 pandemic, building defense zones and fighting against the crime. Phuoc Chi Border Guard Station, along with local military forces and standing military and the police, always ensure to maintain 100% of the troops on duty on perform a dual task of controlling and protecting the border area and fighting effectively against illegal activities and prevention and control of COVID-19 pandemic. Detect and handle about 25 cases with about 44 people entering and leaving illegally to the border area, 16 cases with 7 smugglers. Speaking at the event, Colonel Binh Phuoc hopes that on levels of the party committees, authorities, departments, agencies, and mass organizations of the town, border communes, and Phuoc Chi Border Guard Station will continue to promote the emulation movement, to be patriotic, firmly protect the border security sovereignty, create a new change in awareness, and build a strong whole people's border guard. On the afternoon of March 3rd of 2022, the delegation of Binh Phuoc Province visited and worked with Tay Ninh Province. The two provinces discussed together to agree on the content to prepare for the conference to review the socio-economic development cooperation program between Tay Ninh and Binh Phuoc provinces in the 2016 to 2021 period. Tay Ninh and Binh Phuoc are the two provinces in the southeast region with the border with Cambodia, and are also the two provinces in the southern key economic region. In the 2016 to 2021 period, Tay Ninh and Binh Phuoc signed development cooperation agreements in many fields: agriculture, industry, trade, culture, sports and tourism, transport, gender training for job replacement, border protection management, and crime prevention. After 4 years of implementation of the cooperation, it has created an increasingly close connection with the relationship of the two provinces, contributing to promoting the socio-economic development, ensuring the national defense, security, and social security in order and suitable to the conditions of each locality, creating motivation for businesses and investors of the two provinces to invest. And commenting on the results and orientation for the cooperation of the two provinces in the coming time, Mr. Binh Thanh Province, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, said that in the near future, it is necessary to exchange and share information to orient the planning of the two provinces' consensus, and thereby the basic orientation of the goal is the regional linkage and linkage between the two provinces also. On the basis of the general planning, it will be concretized in the regional planning. The two localities will actively participate together with planning the southeast region, jointly promoting the Ministry of Transport to quickly deploy the remaining section of the Ho Chi Minh Expressway, and proposing to the central government to soon change the stage of deploying some information traffic routes connecting between the two localities. According to Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Cường, Secretary of Binh Phuoc Provincial Party Committee, Binh Phuoc and Tay Ninh have many things in common in socio-economic defense and security. So in the period of 2022 to 2025, the link between the two provinces will focus on many field sectors, notably the tourism sector. And at the same time, Tay Ninh and Binh Phuoc will closely link together to carry out foreign affairs with Cambodia. The leaders of the two localities have also agreed on the content to prepare for the summary of the cooperation conference that will take place in the near future.
On the afternoon of March 2nd, the delegation of Bình Dương Radio and Television Station led by Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Quang, Deputy Director of the station, visited and exchanged experience at the Radio and Television Station.
At the meeting, Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường, Director of the Radio and Television Station, informed about the station operating apparatus, the implementation of the centralized model and some ways of operating and developing content on the infrastructures, and a number of the broadcasting programs under YouTube fanbase application, etc., And also the leaders of some professional departments of the two radio and television stations discussed how to manage the radio social networking platforms, the process of implementing content on the digital infrastructure of YouTube fan-based application, and etc., copyright issues on the YouTube digital infrastructures and digital transformation orientation in the area of technology development. On this occasion, the radio and television station also shared the implementation of centralized document management. The digitization of tapes and videos has brought efficiencies in management also. And the Provincial People's Committee has coordinated with the 389 Provincial Steering Committees to organize a conference to review the fight against smuggling, commercial fraud, and counterfeit goods in 2021, deploying the direction and tasks in 2022. In 2021, the member of Steering Committee for 389 of Tay Ninh Province and the registered towns and city, as well as the functional forces, have seriously implemented the directives in the fight against smuggling and trade fraud to step up the control and fight against smuggling, commercial fraud, and counterfeit goods in the area under their management. In the commodity markets, prices are generally stable and there is no shortage of goods. The situation of smuggling, commercial fraud, and illegal cross-border transportation of goods decreased completely compared to the same period last year, but the most complicated developments were around the time of the Lunar New Year Eve. At the conference, the Provincial People's Committee awarded certificates of merit to 10 collectives and 10 individuals. The 389 Steering Committee also awarded certificates of merit to 8 collectives and 5 individuals with outstanding achievements in combating smuggling, commercial fraud, and counterfeit in 2021. And ladies and gentlemen, implementing the government's resolution number 128 on self-adaptation in pandemic prevention and economic development, the tourism industry as well as the other industry have overcome difficulties and obstacles to realize the industry goals in 2022, welcoming about 65 million tourists, including 5 million international visitors. The total revenues reached 400 trillion Vietnam dong. And it is a very powerful task and very serious, hard task. But if there are many good solutions, it can be overcome. It is the tourism industry must always be associated with trade and services. And it is also an indispensable and objective requirement in the process of tourism development in Vietnam becoming more and more sustainable and effective. At the same time, it is also the demand of localities and businesses when welcoming tourists to them. In addition to spending on the hotel accommodation services, local tourism must coordinate with other sectors, including the trade industry such as supermarkets, trade centers, markets, and other places to visit and go shopping. Obviously, the diversity of novel consumer goods and souvenirs in localities must be paid a great attention and investment, creating a strong attraction for tourists. The goods must always be reviewed, listen to customer opinion in a demanding way with an initiative mindset. The quality of the goods must also be guaranteed and bearing the famous characteristics of localities and regions across the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, the program to support businesses and people from the policy of supplementing resources to maintaining, recovering and developing production and business with the motto of flexible and safe adaptation. The governance supported policy are highly appreciated by the business community. The number of businesses returning to operation in the first 2 months of the year up 102% over the same period last year.
Specifically, according to the statistics, compared with the same period in 2021, industrial production in February of 2022 continued to prosper with an increasing of 8.5%. In general, in the first 2 months of 2022, the industrial production index increased by 5.4% compared to the first 2 months of 2021. Notably, the government's drastic and timely solutions and direction have created peace of mind and trust for the business community. Generally, in the first 2 months of 2022, the number of enterprises entering and returning to the market increased by 46.2% over the same period in 2021. On the average, there are about 21.3 thousand newly established enterprises and returned to operation a month. and continuing to the recovery momentum of the whole country from the beginning of 2022 until now, Tay Ninh's economy continues to prosper also, in which the industrial production index increased by more than 5.1% over the same period in 2021, according to the Department of Land Investment of Tay Ninh Province. Although most businesses still face many difficulties due to many months of being heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021, a number of key production industries of the province have increased significantly over the same period. Is a positive signal in which the processing and manufacturing industry continue to be the traction force, playing a key role, creating greatest added value for the industrial sector and affecting the qualities of growth, creating momentum for the economy. The economy continues to recover strongly in the remaining months of 2022. And as the economic bouncing back, the local governments will continue accelerating the disbursement of public investment this year also, with a focus placed on infrastructure development, which is one of the key driving forces for higher economic growth. The projects focused on by the province include the projects of Ho Chi Minh Expressway passing through Tay Ninh territory connecting with the section of Duong in Binh Phuoc Province, Đức Hoa of Long An Province. The Ho Chi Minh Mộc-Bài Expressway, Go Dau Sa Mát Expressway and Logistics Center, the ICD Port, Tay Ninh General Port, and the key transport projects of the province invested. Besides, Tay Ninh also have some irrigation system, such as the infrastructure in irrigation and watering system for the agricultural sector. So, public investment must act as a primer to attract on legitimate resources for national development and economic growth, particularly through public-private partnership (PPP). This year, the local government will speed up the building of key infrastructure projects that connect the regions for socio-economic development, attraction of investment, employment generation, and poverty reduction. Since late last year, the government has always highlighted the acceleration of disbursement of public investment in its meeting on socio-economic development, considering it as one of the key most important duties in 2022 of the government, ministry, localities, and state-owned enterprises. The Ministry of Land Investment also reported that in the first 2 months of this year, the total public investment disbursement is estimated to be $2.1 billion, equivalent to 8.8% of the year plan and up to 10.4% as compared to that of the same period. And Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, chairman of the People's Committee of Tay Ninh Province, said that the local authorities and functional sectors are actively implementing effective solutions to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic situation. At the same time, continues to innovate the growth model associated with improving the competitiveness, focus on investing in developing modern transport infrastructure, training high-quality human resources, reforming administrative procedures, and improving the business investment environment, closely coordinating with the central agencies and investors to complete on schedule national keywords and projects deployed in the area, especially the ICD port project and highways through the area.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.